Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the tutorial series on in silico drug discovery, now we have come to a very chill stage. Because in this video, I am going to explain the concept of molecular docking. You know that molecular docking is a very important computational technique, which is used to screen or filter chemical compounds based on their binding potential to a particular target protein. This is a very preliminary test to screen the chemical compound. In other words, it's a computational test to see whether any chemical compound binds strongly with the target protein or not. And molecular docking also predicts the binding force of that chemical compound. So, we get two kinds of output or result from the molecular docking experiment. The first output is binding energy of the ligand or chemical compound, and this binding energy is sometimes also expressed in terms of binding score. And the second is the binding force of that chemical compound, finding post or the conformation of the ligand poly. So, let's discuss about the binding energy. What is binding energy? Now you already know that in drug discovery, we search for the protein binder of a target protein. So we expect that when the ligand will be present in the vicinity of any target protein, it will spontaneously bind to the binding site of the target protein. That means the reaction will be spontaneous or exergonic. Okay, in terms of thermodynamics, the reaction will be exergonic. So what is exergonic reaction? In thermodynamics, an exergonic reaction is a chemical reaction where the change in the free energy is negative. Or simply, it's the kind of reaction which is energetically favorable, where something moves from higher energy states to lower energy states, just like a downhill movement of water. Okay. And the equation, which is used to check the spontaneity of a reaction, that is, whether the reaction will be spontaneous or not. So to check that, this equation can be used. The equation is delta G equals to delta S minus T delta S, and G is free, or simply free energy, and delta means change in the free energy. Okay. E means the internal energy of the system. In case of biomolecule, it is usually the energy stored in the bond, or we may say the energy states of the molecule. E means temperature, and S means randomness of the system. S means entropy or randomness of the system. So now, when the ligand binds with protein molecules, the binding usually occurs through formation of different non-covalent bonds. The non-covalent bonds like electrostatic interaction, van der Waals interaction, hydrobonds, and hydrophobic interaction. And this interaction occurs between the binding side residues of the protein and the ligand group. Okay, so you can see here these are the ligand group. These being structured as are the ligand, and these are the active site residues like phenylalanine 177 and aspartate 222. These are the residues which are present in the binding site of the protein molecule. And these active site residues form non-covalent bonds like hydrophobic interaction, electricity, or van der Waals with the group of the ligand or chemical compound. And this non-covalent interactions are themselves energetically favorable. And these interactions stabilize the protein-ligand complex. Therefore, after binding of the ligand, the energy level of the whole protein-ligand complex become lower than the sum of the energy level of individual protein and ligand. For example, if the energy of a protein is supposed 100, N is of ligand. If the energy is 50, then after binding of the ligand to the protein, that means after formation of the complex, if the energy state of the complex is 150, then the change in the free energy will be minus 20.
Okay. So,
More the delta G value will be negative, more the chances that the ligand binding will occur spontaneously. So, based on this value, we can rank different chemical compounds whose delta G value is more negative will be considered as more potent binders. Okay. So I have tried to explain here in a very simplistic manner, but for detail you can watch several other videos on spontaneous reaction or law of thermodynamics in the YouTube. Okay. So now I am moving to the next part. That is the binding pose of the ligand.
so suppose
This is a chemical compound, a ligand, and for better understanding I have designed it like the shape of human body. You see, in the human body, there are several joints, like the knee joint, elbow joints, the several joints are there. Okay, and these joints are flexible, depend. That's why we can attain different kind of posture, like we can lie down, we can see, walk, and even exercise. So in this image, you can see a few of the possible postures. Okay. And these portions are only possible due to the presence of the joint. Similarly, an organic chemical compound usually contains a flexible region or a rotatable bond. And these are the rotatable bonds or the flexible regions. And the coherent bond can be compared with the spring, which can be stretched or bent and rotated. But the bond in the ring structure are usually rigid, they are not so flexible, and similarly the double bonds are also not very flexible. But the single bonds are usually more flexible. Okay, that's why the molecule can attain band or attain different poses. Though here comes the most interesting part. The molecular docking software can predict different possible poses of a chemical compound within the binding site of a protein. Or in other words, it actually edits different poses or conformations of a chemical compound against the binding site residues and scores the conformation based on their suitability or complemented the binding said.
okay.
So, however, to get a good score, a pose should qualify mainly into two aspects. And the first aspect is degree of complementarity, or contact with the binding surfacing, and inner deceits of the ligand. Suppose, and this is a globular protein, and its binding site is triangular in shape. And these are two ligands. One is triangular in shape and another is circular in shape. Okay, so now you can see the second ligand fit beaker within the binding fitter, and like lock and key. Okay, because more surface area of this ligand is in contact with the surface of the binding side than the paste begin. In case of paste begin, only a limited area, A, is in contact with the protein active site. In case of second ligand, you can see more sets effectively are in touch.
Okay. So,
More contact of ligand with the protein to formation of more non-provening bond is a key factor in determining the good pose, because more non-provening interaction means more energetically favorable mandar. The second factor is the energetic state of the leader. Okay. So imagine in man in three posture. The lying in a bedroom, sitting in an office room, and standing in a crowded path. You see, his postures are appropriate for three different situations. Okay. In lying posture, he is totally relaxed, and he requires limited energy to maintain his posture. Similarly, each chemical compound or biomolecules have different energy state. and they want to achieve the energy minima state if the situation allows. When the man is standing, he requires more energy to maintain the posture, but he is unable to relax due to the surrounding environment. Similarly, within the binding site of a protein, the amino acids residues influence or determine the force of the ligand. Even ligand have the influence on the binding side residues and vice versa. So we'll discuss these in the next segment. However, the increase in the internal energy of the ligand will be accepted if the overall internal energy of the complex or system decreases. That is, if the neat delta G value is negative, the reaction will be protein and protein to the bind with their protein molecule. So there is a balance between the binding energy and binding force, which finally determines the optimum force or the most possible force of the ligand. Finally, the force with the highest negative delta G value is always considered as the base force. You can see it is a ligand molecule, same molecule, but it has attained different force. And in first force, the delta G value is minus 7.1, in second force, minus 8.7, and in third force, minus 9.3. So this is the most favorable force because the delta G value is more negative in this case. Okay, so this is about the pose of the clinical compound. So these are the list a few common docking software which are commonly used for molecular docking. So non-commercial software like Autodoc 4, Autodoc Vina, PyRx actually uses Autodoc Vina, but through PyRx you can use Arena for batch mode scanning. Latadoc is also their IgM doc. So these are the list of few and non-commercial commonly used docking software. Commercial docking software, a Glide, Gold, Milagro Haptrare DocArt, and most software ICMs are also there. So in a next tutorial, I will explain how to perform molecular docking. But in this video, I try to explain what are the principles of molecular docking, what are the key factors, west on which the molecular docking software works. Okay. So, that's all for today's tutorial. In next tutorial, I will try to explain how to perform molecular docking using different docking software like Octodoc 4 or Akina. So, in subsequent video, I will flank about molecular docking, how to perform molecular docking. Okay, thank you.